Hello, hello, hello. I'm Chelsey.
And I'm Sammy. And this is Deepish.
Hi.
Hi. Happy Mother's Day.
Happy Mother's Day.
If you're listening to this, Mother's Day is just a few days away.
Mm-hmm.
You guys are only a couple days away from a fat nap and a bath, hopefully uninterrupted.
I know you were asking me, what do you want for Mother's Day? I'm like, to be alone and to sleep. It's so weird though. You would assume that it's like, oh yeah, I want a mug and my kids all over me all day. You're so overstimulated. You just want alone time. I do want to hug them and get my presents and
okay,
let's
just kick off with that, because I feel like at this point it's Thursday, so just a couple more shopping days. You're hoping your husband's pulling his shit together and taking care of stuff.
Yeah.
Mother's Day is coming up. What does the ideal Mother's Day weekend look like for you?
Well, it's hard too because Lennox's birthday is always on Mother's Day or the day after. And so I'm like, your birthday takes priority. So last year it fell on Mother's Day and he felt so bad. He's like, Mom, let's celebrate both. I'm like, no, we'll celebrate Mother's Day another day. This is your day. Oh,
you guys did that. Didn't you do it the day before?
Yeah, I think it was the day before. So I definitely get my day, but if they ever fall on, I'm like, you're my best Mother's Day present and all this stuff. So this year he was like, Mom, it's not on the same, so we can celebrate you and all this stuff. But he's like, even if it was, we could do a combo. He's so sweet. But really all I want is to sleep the F in. I don't want breakfast in bed at 8 a.m. and presents at 8 a.m. But I guarantee they'll bust through and give me them because they'll be excited. And I want them to be excited.
Yeah, because they'll probably be like, can we wake up Mom yet? Can we wake up Mom yet?
Yeah, because they'll probably have little cards or whatever. And that's so sweet too. And that's just part of it. But it's so funny because even if I'm like, I want alone time, it's like cake while I'm in my room watching a show. And I just hear my kids out there.
It's almost like you need an outside source to come take them for a couple hours or something.
Yeah, or like, okay, here, you go get a massage.
Yeah.
But it's weird. I do want alone time, but I want it with Brandon. I would love Brandon to take me to get a massage, me and him. Because I would love that quality time with him. But then I definitely want to end my night cuddled up with my boys, watching a movie. I'm obsessed with you guys. I need that good chunk of time.
Because it's like you want your alone time, and then halfway through your movie you're like, wait, it's Mother's Day, come on in, let's cuddle.
Totally. Once I'm a little more rested, I'm like, okay, bring me your burnt toast, I want to be with you.
What about presents? Does Brandon go hard for presents, or is it kind of just like homemade flowers and homemade things from the kids?
For sure, from the kids, it's homemade stuff, which I love. Give me anything homemade from the kids. I don't care. Yeah. And then Brandon always goes hard. He'll always get me stuff, whatever that is, shoes or an outfit. And then usually he does something thoughtful. So it'll be like a special necklace or a poem he writes. He wrote me, this was probably 2 years ago, he wrote me a Mother's Day poem. He's so good at poetry.
What does it say?
It was just
roses
like
red.
No, it's not like roses are red. It's very
like a letter.
A letter.
Meaningful letter type thing.
Letter with a little bit of a sequence to it. Where it reads like a poem, but it's not like you're great and you're never fake. It's not like rhyming.
But you know how to bake. Yeah.
Yeah. It's not really rhymey. It was basically just like you're our world. Even though sometimes you feel whatever.
You cry.
Oh,
I could just see you just like,
I'm like already
line.
Oh yeah. He wrote me one for my birthday once too. I was just struggling, so insecure this one year. This was probably, I don't know, 6 or 7 years ago for my birthday. And it was basically like, you're so beautiful, I wish you saw yourself the way I do. And then he wrote Chelsey out vertically. And then each, it was like Chelsey, creative, H, wrote all these sentences for my name. And then he was like, when I think of Chelsey, that's what I see. There's moments where he sees me, but on the other days, I'm like, yo, where's my letter? Twice a year, I'm getting his whole entire heart on a piece of paper. And then the other times he's like, sup, babe, pinching my butt. And I'm like, okay.
It makes it sweeter when it's there, though.
Yes, exactly. I do always feel spoiled. He's never like, ooh, let me just run to the dollar store and get you some balloons. He always thinks about it.
He knows what's coming. Do you guys do similar things with Father's Day and Mother's Day? Like, we do the same thing, but then we swap, where you take the kids on Father's Day, let me sleep in.
He's like different.
He doesn't really care.
Yeah, he doesn't really care. I have higher expectations for birthdays, for holidays, whatever. He's more like, whatever. The kids can be in here. We can be chilling. But I do take the kids on Father's Day. It's like, okay, I'm going to be up with them. I'm going to make breakfasts with them. If you want to chill in your room and watch a movie by yourself, I'll have the kids. So it's basically like I'm clocked in full.
Like you're the king of the day. You're the queen of the day.
For instance, it's like bedtime. I'm going to do bedtime by myself. And then Mother's Day, it's like you do all of bedtime, stuff like that. So it's you're the single parent for the day. And then
is that such a treat?
Oh, it's so amazing. They're whining. I remember last year it was Riggs throwing a tantrum or something. It was like, cool, you got it.
Good luck with that. Bye.
Yeah. Like, you just don't have to deal with anything, which is amazing.
That is amazing. I feel like you need to throw in some type of massage. You should go get a massage with your mom.
I want to do something with my mom. What I should tell Brandon is like, I'm going to surprise my mom, and then what I want is a massage. So we'll go get massages. It's hard because my mom's birthday is like right around Mother's Day, and I always take her to get massages for her birthday. Maybe I'll do pedicures.
Yeah, do something, because how do you balance it with being a mom and then having your mother-in-law and your mom? Do you guys go to your mother-in-law's on Mother's Day, or is that hard?
Yeah, we used to, but the last 2 years I was like, I want to stay home and just be with my family, but I definitely want to spoil them. Yeah. So I'll give them their gifts that weekend, or we'll do like a brunch earlier in the weekend or later that week. You know what I mean? So I definitely always want to honor them. And usually it's a big Sunday dinner and we all get together. But the last few years I'm like, oh, I kind of just want to stay home and veg, you know? Yeah. But also I'm obsessed with my moms and I want them to feel honored and special.
Yeah, because I feel like making it a whole weekend where maybe like, the Saturday morning brunch or something. And then it's like, love you so much, love for the moms in the air. And then Sunday, I'm going to chill and reap these benefits of Mother's Day.
I know it's sad when my boys are all older and they're married and they might not come and see me on Mother's Day. But I feel like at that point, it's Brandon's responsibility. I'm going to make you feel so special and loved today because you're a mom. And, you know, and obviously, hopefully my boys always reach out to me, but it kind of giving them that now you take on that role for your significant other might be just passing the torch, because I never feel pressure from my mother-in-law or my mom. Like, why aren't you here? They're so sweet. And like, no, of course you're the mom. You need to be spoiled. If you want to stay in bed all day, do it.
Well, and that's what I would feel like as a mom, even to your daughter-in-laws or your daughters, I would want to be like, oh, I want to spoil you or get you the nicest gift or do something so nice for you so that you can have... I know how hard being a mom is, and I want you to feel everything, you know?
Yes, totally. And that's what I'm going to do, is just spoil them and just give them, this is your day, like, obviously. And hopefully I'll see them at some point that weekend. Oh, please, guys.
I'll get on them and be like, yo,
your mom.
She freaking raised you. Like, you guys need to drop props.
I know. I just have to emulate my mother-in-law and like want to be the one that they want to be around. Because even my mother-in-law, I'm like, I want to be with her. And obviously my mom too, but you know. Yeah. I hope they're like, oh, I love my mother-in-law and I want to be with her and I want to honor her.
They will.
What did you do for your mom growing up? Did you go hard for Mother's Day?
Oh, yeah. That's the thing, is it's so funny. I'm so curious, obviously, to see how Mother's Day changes when I'm a mom. But like Mother's Day growing up was always, even just, I don't even know, just does springtime remind you of your mom?
Totally. Well, it's my mom's birthday and Mother's Day.
See, that's probably why. But obviously my stuff is so complicated. But leaving Costco the other day, I just start bawling because I see like the gardening stuff is out and lilacs are in the air. And it just is such a mom. And me and my siblings always talk about like, oh, Christmas time always makes me miss my mom, or my birthday or fall or whatever. But springtime is such a mom time of year.
Totally.
I remember always begging my dad to get my mom patio furniture or a swing. It was like, okay, summer's right around the corner. Let's get mom an outdoor whatever for Mother's Day.
Did you really spearhead spoiling your mom?
Oh, yeah. So when I was little, my mom had the worst taste in food. So it would always be like broccoli with cheese sauce. Oh. And then we'd have to eat that, and then we could have like angel food cake if we ate the broccoli. Like, but we never had that unless it was like my mom picking, or chicken cordon bleu. That was like her go-to. And I remember my dad would make
those were both of her favorites.
Yeah. Like so random. But she just always liked the weirdest food. And so when I was little, my dad would cook it. And I remember just always dreading Mother's Day because my mom wasn't cooking. Mm-hmm. But then as we got older, my mom, the last 10 years before she died, would send Pinterest links like the whole week leading up to Mother's Day. I want you to make me this quiche for breakfast. Because I'm like, Mom, I want to spoil you. What do you want? I want to like do whatever you want. Yeah. Because I didn't have a family. I was single. So like I would just come literally like sleep at her house and just spoil her all day.
No.
And make her that homemade quiche. Or I made this like
She
chicken cordon
milked
bleu
it.
casserole. Oh yeah, she milked it, but it was years of me pushing like, no mom. And then it would always be like the same treats, like red vines and Chico sticks and like the weird like
red vines.
Yeah, it sucks because her favorite treats are nasty.
So it's like you don't even want to get them to be close to her. Like
Yeah.
at the movie theater, you're like, hell no.
No, when we do stuff to celebrate my mom, like, okay, everyone bring mom's favorite treats. It's like Good and Plenty's, red vines, and Chico sticks.
That is disgusting.
I
There are
know.
people that like Good and Plenty's in this world, and
I
that
know.
is insane
So I'm
to
like,
me.
we'll bring them, but like no one's gonna eat them. But she also did love creme brulee, so I always go to Harmon's and get creme brulee. But I loved spoiling her. So growing up, I really did love Mother's Day. It felt like a full-on holiday.
Really?
Mhm.
Hopefully Hayden goes hard for you for Mother's Day.
Yeah, I hope so. And my mom, so her mom died when she was little, and her mom loved lilacs. And so when my mom would see little lilac bushes all over the place, they bloom right
Wait, are you
around
saying
Mother's Day.
lilac?
Lilacs, yeah.
Lilac?
Lilacs? Is it lilacs?
Yeah, like lilac flower.
Like a lilac bush?
Yeah,
Lilac?
but you call it lilac? The color lilac.
In my mind, it's lilac.
Okay, you can say it however
A
you
lilac.
want. You said it a few times, and I'm like, maybe it's not what I'm thinking.
No,
But
yeah,
I
like
know-
you know the purple flower.
Yeah,
like their
lilac.
bushes are everywhere.
Yeah.
Lilac. Yeah. So we would always pick her lilacs on Mother's Day.
Yeah.
And so I would just go find some random house, pull off the side of the road, cut some stuff down. Even when I was little, I remember going to my school, like behind the fence, cutting those flowers for her and bringing them home. And that smell,
Yes,
like,
it's so powerful.
so powerful. And it just smells like Mother's Day. And so now, like I've told Hayden, I'm not even a mom yet, but like, I'm like, you pick me lilacs on Mother's Day. And he does, except for last year he didn't because I had already picked some. And I was like, where are my lilacs? And he's like, they're on the counter. Like you picked like,
You're like,
we
no, I
have
need
10
more.
vases of them. I'm like, no, you get them for me every Mother's Day. That's like our rule.
So how's Mother's Day been the last few years for you?
So shitty. Last year, I tried to pick a couple of people that I could like spoil, or like moms that I knew, or I had a friend who had just lost her mom. So I'm like, I'm going to drop her off a basket. And I'm going to really try and I threw my mother-in-law this big Mother's Day brunch and tried to make that really special. So I try and channel that energy of, okay, if this was like my mother-in-law's last Mother's Day, how would we want to spend it? I'll try and have Hayden go a little bit harder or things like that. But obviously last year sucked and this year's going to suck. It's just the infertility plus no mom sucks.
I know. How are you anticipating? Do you have any plans or like, okay, I just know that day is going to suck?
Yeah, I don't have any plans and I don't know whether to make them or to not.
I know part of me wants you to have something, not even necessarily like, wee, fun, but just have something planned that day.
Yeah.
To kind of look forward to, but mainly to just, I have something good that day.
Well, you know what we should do is me and Hayden should go like see a movie or something.
Yeah, and your mom will have movies.
Oh yeah.
That should be a tradition, honestly.
Yeah, because
like
that's
a
kind of what we do on
matinee.
her birthday. But yeah, because I think his mom's going to be out of town. And so I have my two stepmoms who, my stepmom-in-law and my other stepmom. So I'm lucky to have these amazing women in my life who are motherly figures, which I'll send them love and send them stuff. And then I also feel like for my sister, I need to be there for her because she's a single mom and she doesn't have a mom. And so what we've done in the past couple of years is like taken my sister to dinner or like done something with her. So I think we'll try and do that maybe. And then maybe see if she wants to come do a movie with us or something.
Yeah, you should just do something to kind of get and distract.
Yeah. Yeah.
I feel like a movie would be good distraction.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, so I don't know. We'll see. It's hard because part of me was like, obviously there's good and bad. And holidays can be really painful for some people and really great and amazing for others.
I know, it's so crazy that the contrast can be so vast.
Such a happy celebration day is a harsh reminder to some other people. But it's weird because before I lost my mom and I used to see people thinking of mothers today who have lost a child or who have, you know, like all of these things. I'd always just be like from the outside, like, just enjoy your day. Don't let that get you down. I don't ever want to be like that sulking type that's like, Mother's Day.
Yeah.
Here's
No, and
my
you've
triggered
never-
post or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But I think all of my mom's anniversaries serve a different purpose. Her birthday is more fun, celebration of life. Her death anniversary is really somber and sad. And then Mother's Day is like, wow, I'm so grateful. I want to acknowledge her as a mom and that relationship that we have and like celebrate her as a mother still, even if she's not here. So it's like different relationships with those holidays.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think if I try and channel that, it can still be a really special day. Like, I do have a mom. She's not here anymore, but she was amazing, you know?
Yeah, I was thinking this the other day. Do you feel like you had a good adult relationship with your mom? Because she passed away when you were 27, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do you feel like you had those years of developing kind of an adult-ish type of relationship with her?
Yeah, I do, partly. It's hard because I think sometimes I'm like, oh, if she would have died when I was a teenager, would that have been easier? Because I'm not used to having her. Or if they die as a kid, it sucks because they miss part of that life. But then it's not as much of a vast difference of like, oh, I'm not texting her every day, or she's not part of my life in that way, you know?
Mm-hmm.
But so I do feel like I definitely had a good adult relationship with her where I felt like I could talk to her about things and she could talk to me on an adult level and talk to me about stuff with my dad or finances, or come to me as like an adult to adult friendship.
And you feel like that developed later on. I feel like you guys always had kind of like your mom would share things
We
with you.
did, but I think she used to protect me from a lot of things because I was too young, you know, having that adult relationship, even like her opening up to me more about the mistakes she's made in life, or like things her and my dad went through. We're not really sugarcoating a lot of that anymore.
Mm-hmm.
But it does suck. I was actually telling my sister-in-law this the other day because we went to the flower shop and got a bunch of stuff, and she was helping me with my garden because I'm like, I don't know what half the stuff my mom planted, if it's annual or perennial or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, oh, your mom taught me once it goes this size, you cut it in half and then you split it up and all this stuff. And I'm like, oh, she did. Tell me more. What else? Because the timing, I had just met Hayden. She definitely taught me how to cook, definitely taught me some things, but I wasn't in wifey mode yet, where I'm just like, yeah. Like, this Tinder guy's not texting me back. I gotta go, you know?
Totally.
And so I do wish I would have had the adult relationship in the way of like, hey, teach me. Now I really want to know how to make homemade bread and like how to sew and how to
be a wife and a mother.
Be a wife and a mother. And how do you be okay that you don't get to be a stay-at-home mom, and that your dreams just don't come true and your life looks different than you thought, and all of these things. There's so many conversations I want to have with her as like an adult now that I'm like walking in her shoes.
Totally. I feel like especially your mom worked your whole life.
And she wanted to be a stay-at-home mom so bad.
I know.
And she would always be like, oh, but like, and I'm like, I'm going to marry the richest guy and I'm going to have a walk-in closet. And I'm gonna like, you know, and she's like, I hope that works out for you. But I feel like she would have a lot of wisdom of, I wanted to support your dad. Really, I don't know. I feel like that's the hardest part for sure about her being gone, is not being able to ask her those questions. But it's interesting because even when I'm talking to my sister, she'll call me after a doctor's appointment and be like, oh, I wish mom was here. Or she's raising teenagers now. And she's like, I was such a bitch to mom, but now Chloe's doing this to me. And I wish I could just call mom and tell her I'm sorry. And if I really think and reach down deep enough, I know what she would say. And I can confidently say that to my sister. I feel like if mom were here, she would say this.
I know. And that's such a beautiful thing that like you had that type of open dialogue, communication, relationship where you can almost conjure what advice she would give. I think what's hard too probably is just the experiences or the memories are kind of falling away a little bit.
Yeah. And thinking about those things, it makes me happy because we've talked about doing this episode, and motherhood is so amazing. It's probably the best part about this life. The connection that you have with your kids and then the connection that you have with your mom is unlike anything else. And obviously I'm in a hard spot with it right now where I want to just be like, moms, who even cares? Like, no one even cares about moms. Being a mom is not that cool. But it is everything. And I think that I want to remember all of these things, and I want to keep her memory alive, and I need to lean into that a little bit more about Mother's Day. But it's funny because I was thinking I should make a video of gifts I'd get for my mom as someone who doesn't have a mom, a gift idea, whatever. Mm-hmm. Because I saw this thing where this girl for Mother's Day, she did a gift for her mom where she wrote down everything. It was like, dear mom, you probably wouldn't remember this, but ... and wrote down all of the little things her mom did for her that mattered, cutting the crust off of her sandwiches, or like writing her note in her lunch, or doing all those little things. I was like, that is so sweet. Like, that there's so much as a mom that you do that goes unnoticed, and gifting that to your mom and just being able to be like, mom, thank you for doing this, or thank you for doing that, is so special.
Yeah, like even you just talking about your mom obviously makes me think about my mom and my relationship with my mom, and like that adult relationship. It's hard because it's not like, mom, teach me all these things, but it's more you slowly start becoming more equals and friends. It's weird because I need my mom more than ever.
Mm-hmm.
But it's almost like I want my mom more than ever. Like, I want her in my life, you know?
Do you feel like there was a shift? And if so, at what age? Where like you go from needing your mom to wanting your mom, or to really appreciating her value?
Yeah, it's so crazy because as a kid, you're just like, oh, I want my mom, like how my boys are now. Like, Rick's always like, Mom, I want you. I want you. They just want me. And I know that kind of fades where they more need you. Then for me, it swung back more to like, I want you in my life. I want to see you more than I do need you, but I want your presence more than that.
Yeah.
Growing up, I was always a daddy's girl, but I loved my mom. I always thought my mom was so sweet, so cool. But then going into high school, it was definitely like, okay, mom, shh. You don't really want to hear what she has to say. But my circumstances of life were a little different where I felt like I had to grow up and all this stuff. So I wasn't harping on my mom ever. I feel like I saw her more as a human being in high school. But it was definitely like if she would try to give me advice on things like boys, I was like,
You have no idea what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't want to hear about that stuff. And I definitely wouldn't say we were like friends when I was in high school. I knew she was going through hell and I admired her. And I really saw more of just her humanity, I guess. Like some of those breakdown moments are, whoa, this is really intense. So I think I started gaining empathy for her. And then it was probably just a slow progression of friendship after high school. When I came home after college, having more intimate conversations and stuff about life, it was like, oh, I really like you and I love you. But then I guess when I became a mom, it's like that gap is bridged.
Where it connects you all over again because you're like, oh, this is what it was like.
And now you really want to know her advice.
Yeah.
And you really want to hear everything she has to say. And you know time is fleeting. And all I want to hear is these little tidbits. But prior to that, I was like, oh yeah, I love my mom. She's great. But then now I want to vent to my mom.
Yeah.
She gives me a different outlook too because she's so on the other end of it where she's just like, it's so fast. Just love them. They're fine.
It is so interesting. You should ask your mom. But their perspective is so... just watching your kids go through the same thing that you went through and just being proud of them for doing a good job, doing things differently than how you were doing them, or just even watching that empathy. I feel like my mom would have loved to see my sister just be like, Mom, teenagers are so hard. Like, yep, that's how it was. I went through that like back in my day, you know. It's like when it all comes full circle and it's worth it.
Totally. Because I asked my mom, do you like being a mom better or a grandma better? And she was like, oh, for sure a grandma, in the sense of I can just love on my grandkids and spoil them, but I don't have any of the responsibility.
Yeah. Or the stress or the grief.
She's like, it's amazing. Because then I'm like, here's your kid, you raise them. But I think that comes from a place of feeling more confident in me. But it's weird too, because I simultaneously feel more like a kid now for that want, where I'm just like, no, Mom, I need you to take care of this situation.
Yeah.
It's so nice because my mom comes up every week to watch the boys.
Yeah.
And we have a room for her there because she sleeps over. And just having her in her bed at night, I feel like the mom in my teenage daughter's home.
And you feel like you have peace.
Yes.
Mom's in bed. She's downstairs. I feel
She's
safe tonight. She's safe.
It's so weird. The other day after she was done babysitting the boys, she came home and she's like, I'm just going to go run some errands. And it was like 10:30 and she still wasn't home. And I'm like, how dare you, Mom, have me out here worrying about you? And I called her and she's like, oh, I'm just at your brother's. I'll be home soon. And I'm like, Mom, it's past your curfew. You need to be home. Yeah. But then she comes home and I'm like, here's some chocolate for your bath, Mom. Do you need anything? Do you want some water? And then she's just in bed. And I remember telling Brandon, I love when my mom's at my house tucked in downstairs.
Yeah. That is the happiest.
It feels so cozy to me.
Yeah. That's the comfort, like nothing else. You can't replace that. This love, this comfort, and having it come full circle is such a magical time of life, which that's just makes me sad that I'll never have that with my mom because I feel like
that would have been
makes it like worth it as a mom, you know?
I know. I think I look at your experience though, and I'm so happy you had those adult single years with her, because it really was that true friendship, really the quality time and time. I feel like that's a unique experience and really special, because she really saw you through a lot of hard times.
Well, and she's so much like me. We're both daydreamers, and we would always talk about my wedding or my kids or my whatever. And even just having those conversations, I hold those conversations so tightly, because I'm like, oh, she knew the kind of mom that I want to be. And she knew, oh, this is how you're going to be with your girls and how you're going to be as a wife, and their husband will be so lucky. She would always talk about my future. So I feel like she's part of it in a way, which is fun and magical.
Yeah. Do you anticipate anything once you do get pregnant and have babies? Do you think that that'll heal a part of your relationship with motherhood, not having your mom here?
I hope so. It's hard. My brother had a little girl like a month after my mom died. And I remember the first year of her life, I would just look at her and just start bawling, because I was just like, my mom would have loved her. And I think I'm preparing myself for a lot of pain, but also a lot of euphoric, unworldly closeness to the other side type thing, where I picture myself rocking my baby to sleep at night and crying because I miss my mom, but also feeling her in that moment at the same time.
Totally.
And so I'm reaching for that, hoping, and hopefully it doesn't let me down. I don't know. I think it's going to be a combination. I think it brings new problems, but it also brings new purpose.
You know, I feel like it's really hard, because I think it'll heal so much of you. It'll glue some pieces back to your heart that have been missing for a long time.
Yep.
But those cracks will still almost become deeper. Not necessarily wider, but deeper.
Yeah, I love that. And I think that happens as time goes on, where I'm like, okay, whoa, like she's really not going to be here for this. I remember on my wedding day being like, oh, this isn't just something we talked about. She's actually not coming. When I'm in the hospital room, it's like, she's actually not going to be here to hold your hand. She won't be here to meet the baby. She won't be here to
Was she there in the room with Chloe and Nora?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Would you have had your mom in the room with you?
Oh, 100%. I'm like, come one, come all. Like, I'll probably have like my in-laws and like my step. I'm totally open. How do you feel? I mean, even watching what I've gone through, and I've gotten that a lot from my friends, where they're like, watching your situation makes me so grateful for my mom. Do you feel like being so close to someone who's lost their mom, you have a different appreciation for yours? Because I'll be talking to some of my friends and they'll be telling me about a fight that they had with their mom or something. Like, oh, I feel bad talking to you about this. I'm like, oh, don't feel bad. It's normal to be bugged with your mom. It's normal to human relationships. It's not all sunshine and rainbows. And a mother-daughter relationship is so magical, but also complex. But do you feel like you're soaking it up and appreciating it for what it is?
So much.
You are.
Yeah.
That's good.
But also, it's a newfound anxiety. My mom's going to die.
Yeah.
You know, because that happens.
Mm-hmm.
Moms die.
Because your mom feels so invincible. Like, I felt like that. Like, nothing will ever happen to my mom, because mom's always there.
Yeah, so I have a lot of anxiety when it comes to my mom. It really switches till she's like my baby in a weird way too now, where I'm just like, I want to protect you. But then she can make her own decisions. She's almost like a teenager, where I'm just like, Mom, that's the wrong choice.
Yeah.
Don't make that choice. But then she has to do what she's going to do, you know? And the good things, her victories become my victories too. And so it definitely has made me appreciate my relationship with my mom, knowing what you've been through. But it's hard even having this conversation. I feel so weepy. I want your mom here. Like, I don't want to have this conversation. I don't want this to be the reality type thing.
For sure. And I feel the same way too. But I also do think that that is something that's so cool. You probably have experienced this as a mom, but I picture it like this love that you're teaching, like a bear teaching the cub, this is how you love. And then you come full circle, your mom's to this point, and you're loving her how she taught you how to love. And it's probably the same.
That's so beautiful.
So cheesy.
I'm so like, ugh.
But you know what I mean? I think same thing with like Lennox or Riggs or Rooney, when they come and they get you a cold rag because you have a headache, and that's something you've always done for them. Seeing that reciprocal human experience is so cool. And obviously in my best moments, in my most logic mind, I'm like, it is really magical, because I think there's so many times, even with my nieces and my nephews, that I'm like, my mom would be so proud of me right now of how I'm loving them. Like on Christmas, I do a surprise Meemaw gift and I make it the best gift and have them open it. And I'm like, oh, she would have loved this. There's little things that I do for holidays or random things or drop something off because I feel like I have to be grandma to them. And I just can't wait for that feeling when I'm a mom to just feel like she's proud of me for loving them the way that she loved me. And even though she's not here to see that, that's something that you get with your mom and that you'll have with your kids too. Everyone does.
Yeah, and it makes her live on through you, that love that she gave you. It's so crazy though. I'm just having this weird, like, just today in general, this out of body, like, life is so interesting and complex. Because obviously we want all the happy and the good.
Yeah.
And we want our relationships to be thriving and just everything. The goodness is so cozy. But we need the heartbreak and the devastation and the hard conversations and all of it in order for the good to be good. That's why it is good.
Yeah.
And I think, whoa, like I'm in this weird, wow,
What are you on?
life.
But it's so true. Like last week on Allie's podcast, when you've gone so low, you can reach so much higher. And that's why I think about if my mom would have stayed alive, I wouldn't obviously appreciate her as much as I do now because you don't realize it until it's gone type of thing. But there's no realistic way to grasp. You can prepare and have anxiety for your mom to pass, and you can never be fully prepared for what that's like. But then I also think too of our moms and older moms listening who have lost their moms or even who moms are old and gray. They're so impactful. Your mom is a walking image of her mom, and same with mine and just the women in their lives, right? These women are so impactful, and it's so cool that when you have all these amazing, like you have your amazing mother-in-law, your mom, all of these motherly figures, even friends that make you into this. That's what's so crazy about all of it. It's like womanhood and motherhood is so magical and it's so loaded in things, and that's why it makes it so devastating for me to not have it because it is literally the best part about life and it's so complex.
That's why I'm saying you're in it with me.
Like literally
Pass the joy.
Yeah, literally. So I want to know for motherhood with you, what are things that your mom always did that you do now with your kids?
Oh, with my kids?
The little things to the core values.
Oh, okay. So funny things. I think the older I get, why my mom did certain things are now making sense to me. I had this experience the other day. My kids will not eat dinner because they're full on freaking drink, water or juice. And when I was growing up, my parents wouldn't let us have a drink at dinner. They were like, you have to eat your dinner, and then after you eat dinner, you can have a drink. And I grabbed those freaking juices so quick, and I'm like, eat your food first because you're getting full.
Yeah, interesting.
And I was like, whoa, I am my mother.
Yeah, that's weird.
Yeah, that was a weird one. And then also, I feel like motherhood is realizing why my mom cooked the same 5 meals every week.
Yeah, probably like spaghetti every single Tuesday.
It's so relatable. Mm-hmm. And my kids are like, oh, that again. I'm like, because you'll eat it. I don't want to try all these new recipes that you're not going to eat.
Mm-hmm. You'll eat it. It's easy. It's cheap. Yeah.
It's fast.
Yep.
Because I will try to branch off the other day. I made this chow mein. It was so good. I loved it. But they were like, oh, it's disgusting. And I'm like, I'm not doing this anymore. Yeah. I'm not trying these meals out. Mm-hmm. I know you'll eat literally pasta and whatever. Mm-hmm. And then one other thing is, I haven't said this directly to my kids yet, but my mom used to always say, I would be like, Mom, I'm bored. And she said, only boring people get bored. And that to my core rocked me to where I was like, I will never utter those words. You will never hear me say I'm bored. Mm-hmm. She said that to me once and I was like, oh. So now, like, it is in my arsenal waiting to shoot it at my children.
Have your kids ever come to you and say, Mom, I'm bored?
No, they have never said that yet. But one of Lennox's friends was over at a play date and he came up to me and said, I'm bored. And I looked at him and I was like,
only boring people get bored.
Yeah, I said it. His face was kind of, because it's a little rude. Like when he was like, facts. Run away, little boy.
Oh my gosh.
Those things that just came to my mind of like, oh,
What about mannerisms?
Oh my gosh. It's so bad. So my mom is a classic fuzzy robe, hair and clip, fuzzy socks.
Oh yeah, that's you.
That is literally me. The other day I was walking past the mirror and I stopped and was like, I am my mother. I am that. And I literally had a piece of Dove chocolate in my fingers on my way to take my bath, and I'm like, mother reincarnated.
Wow, go Erin. I love that. Just living in luxury. Fuzzy robe, fuzzy socks, hairs up, long day, piece of chocolate, hot bath. Yes.
And still to this day, that's what she loves. And I'm like, I love a soft, fuzzy thing. My mom loves flowers and stuff. And now the call is coming to have my green thumb.
Gardening and stuff?
Yeah, the tulips are calling. But I planted a bunch of flowers, all dead.
Really?
Half of them were dead, and my mom's like, did you water them? And I'm like, yeah, I think, but isn't the rain and my sprinklers enough? She's like, no, you need to water them.
Okay, yeah. See,
Like,
these
step
are
number
things.
one.
Yeah.
Step number one. And she just knows all the flowers. She's like, that's a blah blah, and that's a blah blah. And I'm like, have a desire.
See,
to
you
learn.
need to soak up this knowledge. You need to have her write it down for you, ask her all the questions. Just do it.
Okay, I want to hug you right now.
No,
I love
but you know what I mean?
you.
Like this stuff, you think you have time. Like my mom made these rolls. She took my grandma's rolls and made them better. She added something to where they were like lighter and less dense. And we'd always be like, Mom, you make them so much better than grandma, blah, blah, blah. Well, she didn't write that down. So I don't know what the hell is in her rolls, and we'll never have them again. But it's those little things.
Oh crap, I need to do that because my mom has a roll recipe that I love and I don't know it.
Yeah.
Oh, I feel like sick to my stomach.
I'm like, everybody panic. This Mother's Day, it's raise all hell to get all the knowledge. No, but that's what I'm saying. Because then, okay, let's say the green thumb comes and it's too late and she's gone. And then you're just like calling on random neighbors and sister-in-laws to teach you about freaking bleeding heart plants.
Oh, but your bleeding heart bush, when I walked up, that's what I want.
I know, it's so pretty.
I'm just obsessed with those flowers.
They're so pretty. Do you know they have white ones?
Oh, that's what I want. Like pink, white, pink, white. But anyways, yeah, all my plants died. So that's sad. Do you have things that remind you where you're like, that makes sense why my mom was the way that she was?
Kind of. It's not like an exact moment like that where I'm like, oh yeah. I think I'll probably have that more when I'm a mom. But even with my nieces and nephews, when I teach them stuff, like my mom, every single time I cook with my mom, she'd be like, we always clean up as we go. We always clean up as we go. And then I would always tell, isn't it so nice when you just clean up as you go? And I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm my freaking mom. Mm-hmm. Or just, I find myself, I've mentioned before, but my mom would always just validate how much fun she was having or how great this is or isn't this so nice. And when I'm with Hayden, I will say it a million times, like, oh, isn't that the best? Like, Scouty's just cuddling and we're just like watching this show and dinner's on its way. Just really soaking, acknowledging the good times.
Like romanticizing these moments and also just validating the moment.
Mm-hmm. But it's so different because I'm curious what it would be like if my mom was still alive. And I was, when me and my sister were teenagers and like, oh, you just reminded me of mom. I'm like, ew, no, shut up. No, I didn't. Ew, gross, you know? But now, if I do the same thing in the mirror, or sometimes I'll look at my hands and I'm like, oh my gosh, like my hands look like my mom. Random stuff.
Really?
Or like the way I like my lips or certain weird mannerisms.
Yeah.
Remind me of my mom. And I'm like, oh, Mom, like I'm my mom. You're here. Or my sister. So my mom was always in pajamas. Like she was the pajama mom. My friends would come over and my mom would just be in her pajamas. And if you had a pajama mom, like, you know, that feeling where I'm like, oh my gosh, like,
get dressed.
Put on a bra, you know? But my sister's become a pajama mom. She was wearing pajamas the other day and Chloe was like, you have a hole in your pants. This is so embarrassing, Mom. And I was like, oh, you are a me mom. Like, you are a mom and don't ever change. Please just stay a pajama mom because it's so comforting to me. Just bun on top of your head.
Just pajamas.
That's
so funny because the other day I was on my way to get Lennox from school and those are my pajamas and I go through the line and he gets in the car. The first thing he says is, Mom, why are you in your pajamas still? Did you not shower? And I was just like, these kids will roast you to your core. And I'm just like, nobody, I didn't want to.
Mom had stuff to do, okay?
Yeah. So now it's like I have to get dressed or else my kids will be like, they do not want me to be a pajama mom.
Yeah, but it really, if people are listening, you had a pajama, it's legit. I remember I dated a guy who had a pajama mom and his mom would always be like, Sammy, don't judge me in my pajamas. I'm like, no, I feel right at home. Just the classic dad in the garment top with the basketball shorts and then the mom in her pajamas.
Oh my gosh, wait, that's so good. The thing is though, I will be the pajama mom if my kids bring their friends late because 7 p.m. Like, goodbye.
Like sweats are going on. Yeah.
Goodbye. I am in my jams.
And same.
Are you a pajama person, though? I wear pajamas every day. Or are you like a big t-shirt and underwear?
I'm like a nightgown.
Oh, yeah.
You're
a creepy night shirt.
More like a tank top one. I always wear a little nightie to bed most of the time.
Mm-hmm.
But I do have some pajama sets. I'm not like a full-on Christmas jammies, like long pants, long sleeve, like too hot.
Oh, that's
I have
me.
to have shorts and like a tank top.
Yeah, I'm like long pants, long shirt, but then I just take my shirt off and I'm just like in a bra and pants. And then when I wake up, I put my top back on.
You sleep in a bra?
Yeah.
Psycho. That is crazy.
Yeah, but then I take it off and I just have no shirt on.
Or you could just put a tank top or a short sleeve shirt on and not wear an uncomfy bra to bed.
Well, my bras are like the bandeau, you know, like
okay.
You know, they're pretty cozy.
Okay.
It's not like I'm wearing a wire bra to bed.
Just like
a
push-up.
Okay. Yeah. I want to hear a favorite memory you have with your mom. Embarrassing or just a memory that just sticks out to you.
Oh, that's so hard. Yeah, I just love traveling with my mom. Just traveled so well together.
Yeah,
and
what was
always
the
talk
vibe?
about it. The vibes were exactly the same. Like sleep in, go to a yummy breakfast. We weren't afraid to go to a chain restaurant or go see a movie. Just no rules applied where it wasn't like, if we don't want to go sightsee, we don't have to go sightsee. We were trying to chill, read a book, watch a show, take a nap, whatever. And I remember we'd always be like, oh, we need to plan another trip because we travel so well together. And I actually had this same thing with Chloe the other day because we've been going to this workout class together. And she's like, I feel like we just vibe together. Like, we like the same things. Like, we could go on a trip together. And I was like, yeah, that's how me and Mima were. Like, we're on the same cadence, you know? And so I felt like my favorite memories, or even like a day that we would play hooky and I would work a half day at work or left school or something and we'd go get lunch and go to a movie and stuff. Like, that was like our ideal day. We could have the best day, or go shopping and be like, yes. Like, she always used to say, like, oh, that's prime. Like, she'd try and say like weird stuff.
Oh,
like where I'm like, oh, like
Mama Warner.
Like this shirt, like, oh, prime. Like, I love. I'm like, Mom, that's not how you say prime. Like, it was like when prime was in. I was like, oh yeah, perfection. Like, yes, you need that. Let's get it. Okay, yay, fine, great.
Would
whatever.
she just spoil you?
Oh, she'd spoil me. But it's funny because when they were remodeling this house, they bought that buffet table in there.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember we saw it. We went to whatever, Ford Chairs Furniture. And it was expensive. But I was like, you need it. Mom, you're
prime.
Getting this. Like, it's prime. And I'm like, Mom, just like picture, oh, we could do this. And when you host like baby showers or whatever, you can put stuff on, like display stuff. And it would be so cute. And she's like, okay, we get it. But we have to like name it. I'm like, okay. So we named her Victoria. And then I'm like, yeah. And then like, when you die, like, I'll have Victoria. We just loved literally romanticizing everything. And so anyways, then she dies 2 years later. And I'm like, this is Victoria and this is mine. Like, I promise you, Mom left this for me. But now it's like the center of my kitchen and I love it. So she was very good at making those memories. And I think it was because she lost her mom, which gave her an appreciation, which hopefully will relay on how I am as a mom. Mm-hmm. But it also is hard because the one person who would understand how I'm feeling right now is not here.
Yeah, totally.
You know?
Did your mom ever embarrass you? Was there ever an embarrassing moment?
Oh, yeah. I remember she used to take us. We'd go back to school shopping and we'd go stay up in a hotel, shop at Fashion Place, and we'd bring a friend and we'd go to the Mayan restaurant.
The Mayan.
The Mayan.
We need to do a whole episode on the Mayan. I actually saw this TikTok of a girl in Utah that worked at the Mayan, and I watched all of her TikTok series, and she was like, if it should have been a television series. Everyone was hooking up with everyone. It was so crazy. There was all these injuries. We should have her on the podcast and have her tell us all about the Mayan.
Please. I would love nothing more. Like the freaking divers. You need to find her.
Yeah, no, she was literally like, everyone was hooking up. It would have been the best reality television show. I'm like, oh.
We should definitely have her on the...
Yeah.
But yeah, so anyways, we went up school shopping and we went to the Mayan, and I remember exactly where I was sitting in the car. I was like me and my two friends or whatever. And
would she buy stuff for your friends?
No, she'd pay for dinner and stuff, but I don't think she was like...
In the hotel?
Yeah.
Jeez Louise.
I know, she was the best when we were poor. But I remember exactly where I was sitting in the car, and like it was like, okay, we're like buckled up. She's like, who's ready? Like, we're ready. And then she goes, raise the roof. And I was like, oh my gosh, I was mortified. I remember the whole drive just being like, my mom is so freaking weird, and like she's just talking to my friends, being all excited and weird, so embarrassed.
Oh gosh, that's literally gonna be me. I'm
yeah,
like, raise the roof.
No, and that's literally me with like my nieces. I'm just like, yeah, let's go, girls. And they're like, okay, auntie. And I'm like, oh, But that's just how it is. She's just trying to be excited and do something nice for us and be so
no,
fun.
You were a brat. And honestly, I'm going to be like that. And hopefully my kids are fine with it. Yeah. But I can one up you on a car scenario.
Okay, what happened?
So growing up, we had this Astro van. Do you know what an Astro van is? The toaster van. They're so ghetto.
Okay, I think they're like square.
Yeah, they're like square. And we had this vomit green color.
Yikes.
It had the rust stains on it. It was an embarrassing car.
Okay.
And the inside of the door didn't work to get out of the car. So you had to unlatch the window and you pop it open and it goes open 2 inches. And then you'd have to reach your arm through the window and open it from the outside to get outside.
Okay.
So we're driving that. And I think we were probably in 7th grade. It was me and my friend. My mom was driving us to the movies and we were meeting guys there. I was so excited and had the hugest crushes. And so I told my mom, I was like, Mom, will you drop us off like a block away from the movie theater so they don't see this ghetto car? I was just like, Mom, will you drop us off down the street? And she was like, no, why? And I'm like, 'cause Mom, I don't want them to see us driving this. My mom drives up to the movie theater, but the whole block there, she's holding her horn down. So everyone's watching us, okay? We pull up to she's still holding the horn. The boys are outside of the movie theater. She goes, like keeps beeping it. So everyone's looking at us. I'm trying to open the door, but it's not unlatching. And I'm like, Mom. She gets out of the car, goes around and says, announcing Princess Chelsey, gets on her knees and opens the door.
Have you guys talked about that since?
Yeah,
like,
but I'm just
about
like,
it now.
Honestly, I'm like, you're a savage and I'm obsessed with you. Because I would do the exact same things with my kids. I'd be like, watch this, you little shits.
See, my mom would never do something like that. I feel like she would just be like too
embarrassed for herself.
I appreciate that your mom did that because she's like standing up for herself in that moment or just humbling you a little bit.
I think she was humbling me. Chill.
I like that perspective on life. My mom would have just probably cried herself to sleep that night.
I know. And my mom did not care. She was like, I don't care if I look dumb. I don't care if she feels dumb. She needs to realize that she's being a brat right now.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And I was mortified.
Oh my gosh, I would be too.
And my friend, she put her head down and was like, that's her mom. That's
her mom drove, not mine.
But looking back on it, I have never been more obsessed with my mom in that moment. I'm like, you're everything to me. Honestly, she'll probably listen to this and be like, I don't remember that. All the things. Oh, another thing she did, it just came to my mind. So I was dating this kid my sophomore year and she thought he was hideous. Mm-hmm. And she was like, I cannot believe you're dating this guy. And my brother said he looked like an ogre. Mm-hmm. And it was so sad. They were like, he's like Shrek. And I was expecting them to be like, and you're Fiona. Mm-hmm. But I had really bad buck teeth when I was little. So they were like, he's Shrek and you're Donkey.
Oh.
And I'm like, my teeth are straight now, but they would joke. And they're like, oh, Donkey, how's Shrek? And I'm just like,
oh my gosh.
So mean.
And your mom would say that?
No, my mom wouldn't. So I remember we broke up and I liked him a lot.
Yeah.
This kid. But my mom was like, oh, he's so ugly. So what she did for Christmas, I opened this Christmas present and she got, I think it was probably my brother's yearbook or something, and went to all the sophomore boys because she didn't cut my yearbook up, but she put his picture and said 50 boys that are cuter than this guy. And then found sophomore boys, cut out all their pictures and pasted all of them. So it was his picture and then all these other boys that my mom was like, all these boys are cuter than him.
Oh my gosh, I'm obsessed with that.
Because I was just so heartbroken. I just look back on those memories and I'm like, you're so fun.
See, I love that. Free spirit. That's like from a movie, a free spirit mom who's just like, don't care what people think about you and life's too short. It's not that deep.
Yes. And one other memory is she loved Anna Green Gables growing up. And oh
my gosh, my mom did too.
Did you guys watch it together?
Yes.
You did?
Yeah. I feel like a lot of mother-daughters have that in common. Anna Green Gables is such a mom thing.
It's such a mom. I love it so deeply still. But what she did, it was either when I was 12 or 13, she made it a big thing and was like, I'm introducing this. And she made her bed and she called it her princess bed. And she put all of my favorite treats and all of these things. And she's like, it's just me and you. And we got to sit in her bed. And I think she gave me a pedicure and we watched Anna Green Gables.
Oh, that's so sweet.
And now we still watch it probably every 2 or 3 years all the way through.
Just like the original Anna Green Gables.
Yeah, OG. I think Megan Follows is her name, but it's so tender to me.
That is so special. Yeah, I remember when my good friend, her mom, was super into Anna Green Gables, and I went over to her house once because she knew that me and my mom watched it, and she was playing Anna Green Gables with a song on the piano, and I was like, this hurts my tummy. It's so nostalgic.
I think it came out probably when our moms were.
Do you think it was their Bridgerton or what?
Yeah.
Type vibe, but obviously a lot more
What
wholesome.
do you like? Do you have, because with my boys, what I want to do is when they turn 13, I want to do like a big thing like that. But I don't know what. I want to say Harry Potter, but they started watching the first one this year. Yeah. But I would love, maybe I'll do that where they can pick their favorite Harry Potter when they're 13, but make it so magical, just us two, and have it be a huge thing. I just want to have these memories that stick out to them.
Yeah, I think that's so important.
What's so sad for our moms is they probably did so many little things to make us feel special that we don't even remember.
Oh, yeah. Hours and hours of work and thought and sentiment that went into it that don't matter. And that's why I love the idea of that book, writing down all of the things that you think your mom doesn't think that you noticed. Even just keeping a tally of those, of even now. You probably didn't think I noticed you cleaned my kitchen last night, but you did, and you have no idea how much that meant to me. How amazing would that be if your boys gave that to you and you're just like, oh, thank
like
you.
You see me.
I think all moms want is to be seen.
That's what it is.
And appreciated, and you just go your whole life not getting that appreciation.
Mm-hmm. But my mom does not need validation or appreciation. It's so weird. I give her so much praise. I'll be like, Mom, I love you. I'll go off on this whole monologue how much I love you. She's like, thanks, love you too. She doesn't need it, but I'm like, no, Mom, you need to hear me when I say this. Like, I think you're amazing and wonderful and perfect. And she's like, thank you, which is probably a good thing to aspire to, because I feel like she just has so much self-confidence.
Yeah, and I think that's a good way to be as a mom, because you don't want to put too much pressure on your kids. See, I did that thing for you, and you need to appreciate it, like that place of lack, kind of, you know. But it is kind of different too. Do you feel like there's a lot of things as far as when you were learning how to become a mom that have changed since the 90s and 2000s?
Yeah, just being way more PC, saying certain things, doing certain things. My parents spanked me. I would never spank my kids. I'd just be more rough. Maybe even now my mom will say certain comments and I'm like, Mom, no, we don't say that.
Yeah. Gentle parenting is more of a thing now.
Oh, yeah. What I really appreciate about my mom and my mother-in-law is they don't critique my parenting at all.
Oh, that's good.
They never even give me advice on, oh, well, maybe you should try this. They're very, do whatever you think is best.
That's good.
So that's really nice. They're never like, in my day, I did this. They don't say that.
My kids never, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, I feel like it's hard. That transition of your mom trying to give you advice of like, oh no, babies don't lay on their stomach anymore. Things have changed since your time, or vaccines are different. There's a lot of probably hard dynamics that maybe some people experience with their moms.
Oh, I'm sure there's so much of that. Or even mother-in-laws, I bet it's probably more. But my mother-in-law's like, yeah, no, literally do whatever you want to do. I appreciate both of them because they're like, what's their schedule? And I'll stick to whatever schedule you want. Or what do they like eating? When do they go to sleep? They're never like, okay, we're going to give you all this candy and you get to stay up so late. What do you feel like's changed?
I think the number one thing, at least, that I'm hoping to change is just the openness. I think our parents' generation was very closed off, and we've talked about that before, of just having conversations, being more open, talking about things with kids, while still protecting them and not having too much of grown-up conversations and stuff around that. But I think just being a little bit more open, a little bit more transparent, and having really good communication with my kids. It's hard because I feel like I was the problem, but when I was super little, that I would sit down and tell my mom and dad all about my day. She would ask and I wouldn't really know what to say. And so I want to facilitate that relationship with my kids of like, how was your day? Tell me everything.
Yes.
Like, what did Susie say at recess? Or
what
who
I'm
did
learning
you sit
too,
by?
especially with Riggs, I'll be like, buddy, how was your day? And he'll just be like, I don't know. But if I ask a specific question, like, what did you have for snack time? What toy did you play with at playtime? What was your art project? If I ask very specific questions, they can kind of narrow it and then it opens. And what I'm realizing too is finding times of day that they want to talk. Because right after school, neither of my boys want to talk. But
That's so true. I'm the same way right after work.
Yeah, but late at night, they're both so chatty. So it's like capitalizing on when they need a second and then when they want to talk. I'm going to facilitate that through when they're older too, where it's like maybe they want to talk at midnight.
Yeah.
I just want to be so available to when they want to talk, or when they're a little more chatty, then I can ask those questions.
It's such a dance of not pushing too much, but also pulling back a little bit.
I know. Lennox, if I ask him any question at any time of the day, he's going to answer it. But Riggs is like, I don't know. And then there'll be moments where he's like, I played with so-and-so today. And I'm like, tell me more.
Oh, really? Okay. What was that like?
Uh-huh.
Do you have a moment of your biggest mom fail?
Fail.
That you think about where you're like, oh my gosh, I was so unprepared for that. Or I handled that so poorly.
I feel like daily I'm like, oh, I failed that situation.
Like not knowing how to answer a question or whatever.
Yeah. And during Carly's episode, she was like, you need to remember that you can always go back to conversations and be like, okay, I wasn't prepared in that moment, but you can always get prepared and then come back. And I've utilized that. I might not know how to answer. Even I've been trying to say, hey, this is my boundary. We don't do this. And Riggs was like, what's a boundary? And then I've been starting to say, this is a rule, but rules and boundaries are different for me. A boundary is like, I'm setting this in place and it doesn't matter what you do because you can't cross this boundary, versus a rule is something that I'm instilling and putting in place for them.
Yep.
But it's hard because this little 5-year-old doesn't understand what a boundary is. And I'm trying to eloquently say it. And he's like, what, Mom? Anyways, I'm bored. I'm going to go play with toys. And so then I was like, I'm going to come back to that conversation and explain that better to him. But in that moment, I don't have to be a perfect monologue. It's hard. But okay, biggest fail. None really stick out to me at this point where I'm like, I regret that so deeply. Definitely lost my temper and I'm just like, whoa, I need a second.
Yeah.
But I'm very good at tag team. I'm like, come get your kids. I have zero patience left. So I'm never to the point where I literally lost it on them. I'm like, take over. But 2 of my horrendous mother moments, can I tell you?
Yes, please tell me.
I feel like I've told you both of these. Riggs has been my hardest sleeper, So when he was from age 2 to 3, he used to do this thing where if I didn't go get him from his crib, he would bang his head.
Oh my gosh, I remember this time with all the freaking
bruises,
pool floaties and stuff on his crib. Yeah.
So he would bang his head against the crib if I wouldn't go in. I tried to let him cry it out because my pediatrician was like, he needs sleep. You need to let him cry it out. And I couldn't let him. And when I would try, he would hurt himself. Then he started climbing out of the crib. So then I put the mattress on the floor of the crib instead of having it on the little wire hanger things. It was on the floor because I was like, oh, he won't be able to climb out of it. He would hulk and just lift up the crib and shimmy under it. And he just had bruises all over his legs. And at one point, I'm like, this kid looks beat up.
Oh
but God. What he would do is he would get out of his crib and then go to the door. And I had those little child lock things on it. And he would bang his head against the door until I would get it. He was like an exorcist baby.
Oh my God.
I was like, buddy. So that I would go in there. So I gave up on that. I ended up cutting pool noodles and putting them on the individual slats of the crib and getting a crib tent. So I'm like, okay, it's padded, like his padded cell. He can't get out. And still, I would have to go in because what he started doing, he would get undressed and take his diaper off. And then I'm like, great, I have to go in because he's going to pee. So this all leading up to this one day, it's nap time and I have him in his little padded cell and I'm like, he needs to just do quiet time. He's not going to go to sleep, but I'm going to leave him in there for 40 minutes. I look on the camera and I notice his diaper's off and I'm like, great, he did it again. So I go in, he had taken his diaper off, his poopy diaper off, smeared it all over the crib tent, which is a mesh. All over the pool noodles, in his hair, poop.
Yikes.
And it was one of those moments where I'm just like, this is not my life.
You're like, no, literally just
delete.
Bring the baby out, burn the place down. I'm not dealing with any of that.
And at this point, it's like 1 p.m. I can't call Brandon and be like, come get your kids. It's me. I have to deal with this.
Yeah.
So I get him in the bath, washing poop off, had to clean everything. And it was just a nightmare scenario. Looking back on it, I laugh, but I'm like, that was a rough day. And then my other time was with Riggs too. So I go drop Lennox off at preschool and our preschool is far. It was like 20 minutes away. And as I drop him off, it's a scooter day. So everyone has their scooters and I'm like, oh my gosh, I have to go back to my house another 20 minutes and come bring him the scooter because he's going to be the only kid without a scooter. So I have to drive all the way back. At this point, it's been 40 minutes in the car there and back. And Riggs is so sick. Like, he's gonna vomit. And I'm like, you're fine. One more time. One more freaking 20 minutes and 20 minutes. So we're driving there with this scooter. And he's like, Mom, I'm going to throw up. And I'm like, no, buddy, you're fine. He starts projectile vomiting all over the back seat. I pull over on the side of the road and I'm like, nobody. And literally the side of this busy street. And I'm pregnant at the time.
So pregnant with Rooney.
I'm pregnant with
Riggs
Rooney. I'm feeling so sick and nauseous and being in the car for that long. And I'm just like, oh, why me? He's throwing up all over it. So I pull over and I open the door and he just throws up all over me. It was like a scene from freaking The Sixth Sense girl. Like, just all over me. And I'm just like, oh my gosh. And then finally he's calm for a second and I'm just drenched in
dripping off.
It's
vomit.
dripping off of me. And then all of a sudden he's like, ooh, about to again. So I cut my hands, throws up in my hands. I'm just on the side of the road holding vomit, covered in vomit. And I'm just like, throw it on the ground. And then it's coming up. I'm like, no. I start vomiting all over.
So where do you even go from there?
I know, and I still have to drop the scooter off. I'm covered in vomit. It's all vomit. I'm like,
I kind of just like, sorry, Lennox, no scooter for you today.
I went and dropped it off. And I remember it's not one where you could just knock on the door. It's like a full on, you have to park and walk it all the way through the school to the classroom. And I'm just like, drip, 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 drip.
Oh my gosh.
I give it, and she's like, oh my gosh, are you? And I'm like, it's.
Find a Clorox wipe, I'm out.
I go back home and I'm just like,
my husband will be picking up my son.
This is a low moment in parenthood.
But that's the thing. I was thinking about that today. I don't know. It's a mixed bag because obviously the lows are so low, right? Mm-hmm. But it's even on your lowest compared to like a work low, a mother low. There's so much like love in that too.
I know, it's so funny because both of those instances ended up Riggs in the bath and me wiping him off, and then his little cute wet hair combed all the way to the back. He's playing with his bath toys and he's like, hi mommy, and I'm just like,
okay,
I love you.
So tell me straight up what the worst part and the best part about motherhood is. Worst part, like, why did no one tell me this would be so hard? Is it the sleep? Is it the I throw up on the side of the street, those low?
Yeah, I think it's those. It's so funny though, because I know I'm not going to remember these lows. Even afterwards, I was like, this is not.
It's funny in hindsight.
Yeah. The lack of sleep is really hard. I'm kind of out of that stage now because Rooney sleeps through the night. My boys are great, you know? Yeah. So you're kind of out of that. Obviously, there's times where they're throwing up all night long or they're super sick and you don't sleep.
Yeah.
And they're your priority. So I feel like the lack of this sleep is probably the hardest. No. The hardest part is feeling like you're gonna mess up. Like you're failing.
The mental aspect
and
of it.
You're gonna mess them up. You're like, what are you gonna talk about in therapy? I want to save you from everything, and that mental mind F is the hardest part for sure, by far.
Yeah,
because you feel like you're never doing enough. You feel like you're always messing them up. It's just so hard.
Yeah, like decision fatigue, all of those things.
Yeah, or if you're not going extra hard for a holiday, or you didn't do this, or you didn't go to the field trip. It's just you constantly feel that.
I know, it makes me nervous. I was talking to this girl at work the other day. She has college-age kids, and she was like, honestly, once you become a mom, you never relax again in your life unless your entire family's together and you guys are watching a happy movie. Like, you're constantly anxious and constantly worried. That's what I'm kind of the most nervous for, of that shift in life. Oh, I'll never be at ease again unless I'm literally in bed with my entire family and we're all safe and we're all happy. And then even then I feel like I'll be worried. What are they going to turn out to be, or what's going to happen, or what pain are they going to go through in their life? How do you even cope with that?
Yeah. And I actually have been finding myself to just be like, even yesterday, I've been watching, of course, I'm obsessed with evolution, but I've been watching this documentary on dinosaurs and that whole thing. And I'm like, oh, my boys would love this. And I was like, guys, do you want to watch it? And the kitchen was a disaster. And I'm like, I should be doing it. But it was all of us on the couch. And I was like, I'm not worrying about anything right now. But this 30 minutes that we're going to just be here before bedtime. Because I'm not going to get these moments back. And the kitchen will be cleaned eventually.
Yes, that's great.
And weekend mornings, they all climb in bed. And it's just all my boys in bed with me. And I'm like, I feel so complete right now. And I'm trying to not worry in those moments about anything.
Yeah.
But I'm being very intentional about it, where little things might creep in and I'm like, nope, I don't care.
Not today, Satan.
Not today. Literally not today. I'm going to be with my babies. But best part is those completion moments you feel.
That whole feeling of
My heart is full.
Yeah.
And it's weird because prior to kids, it was like, I feel whole and I feel like myself and I love my husband or whatever it is. But then realizing once you have your babies, like, whoa, I didn't realize.
how empty I was.
Not even empty, but I had so much more room in there to be filled.
Yeah. That's so true. And what about the cuteness? Whenever I go babysit my niece and nephew, I'm like, how do you guys get used to this cuteness? Those are the moments I feel like your heart, like, it flutters a little bit because they say the cutest thing and you and your husband look at each other and you're just like, who is our kid? And this is the best.
That look, I cannot wait for you and Hayden to have that. You probably do it with Scout, but like,
Yeah, I'm just like, oh, look at her.
yeah, but the thing that you do with your partner when your kid does something funny or silly or whatever it is, and you immediately lock eyes, it feels like that feeling shouldn't exist. It's so connecting. It's like for one moment, you're completely on the same page. It's like your brains are connected.
Like in awe of this child that you freaking created.
Yeah, it's an immediate eye contact where you're just both like, we're equally so obsessed with this human being. And I've never felt more connected to Brandon in my whole life in those moments.
Yeah.
And to, like, the love of our children. This is the point of life.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
I love that.
But yeah, the cute thing, it's so funny. Our friend Kylie, she calls it's when you have love rage. She calls it Jurgel. I think she'll probably call me and be like, that's not how you say it. But it's in a different language is what that's called, is like when you're just like, oh, I want to bite them. But it's literally called cuteness aggression. When something's so cute, you want to physically bite it or you're so cute. I get that so much.
I literally want to like chop your fingers up, like put them in a
blender
puree, just
literally.
drink that. Yeah. Like where you get it so far gone.
It's
with cuteness aggression.
so bad. And with Rooney the other day, I'll just be biting his foot, just play biting. And the other day I was like, I just want to like...
Like literally, I'm about to freaking
break
chop
skin.
this off. Break skin.
And he was like, huh. He does this thing. He doesn't really cry. He's not a big crier, but he goes, oh, like when something hurts, he'll be like, oh, and I'm like, oh, you good? You good, bro? I'm sorry, but it's bad. You're so cute, and it doesn't go away because even Lennox right now, his little teeth, they're pretty much in, but his humongous front teeth. And I'm like, I want to pluck those out and chew them like freaking Tic Tacs.
That's so crazy. Do you see yourself in a lot of your kids?
No, I see my brothers in Lennox. He's such a Moen. And then Riggs reminds me a lot of a white version of Brandon. His features are very Brandon. And then Rooney is so Brandon. It's insane. Yeah. But with curly hair, which is weird because I don't know where the curls came from, but when Brandon's holding Rooney, I'm like, you guys are literally the same person, same darkness and dark eyes, and
yeah,
it's crazy.
Because that's what I see with a lot of people and their kids, where I'm like, oh my gosh, like they are you. I see that in Riggs and you a lot, where I feel like
you feel like me and Riggs look alike.
Yeah, but it's funny because it's weird to me that people can't see it themselves. Or like my nephew will be doing something, I'm like, oh my gosh, he just laughed the same way that you laugh. Like, how do you not see that?
Yeah, Brandon doesn't see it with any of his kids. People will say it and he's like, I don't see it. I don't see it at all. Yeah, it's funny. Do you feel like people are like, shut up about your kids, no one cares?
Oh, on this podcast?
Yeah.
No. I mean, this episode's for the moms, you know? I hope
the
that they're
moms out
loving
here.
this.
Yeah, I got kids.
Oh, I think there was a podcast I used to listen to. They're like, nobody cares about your kids. They'd always like say that if they'd start talking about their kids. I'm like, that's not true.
I know, but that's what's nice having Brandon. I'm like, but even Brandon, I could just chat about my kids all day. And he's like, okay, Chelsey, like, go to sleep.
But as a mom, do you have more tolerance for hearing about other people's kids?
Oh, yeah. Especially if I love the person. I want to know every detail about your kid.
Yeah. Some random.
Oh my gosh.
Some
these
randoms.
Like, Lennox's little random friends. I'm like, oh, you guys are so
TFO.
It's so weird because I have so many nephews and my best friends, they have kids. I love their kids.
Yeah. And you could listen to them talk about their kids all day long.
Yeah. Well, maybe not all day long, but my nephews, I'm like, I want to know every detail. What are all the cute things they did? I have an unconditional love for them. And then Lennox's little friends, I have zero tolerance.
Like, the kind of kids you want to like trip.
Well, I'm just like, why are you throwing your garbage on the floor? Pick it up. And then if my nephew did that, I'd be like, buddy, pick it up. But I don't care.
Yeah.
I love
You're not
you.
just like, who freaking raised you? Yeah.
Yeah. Or if one of the kids was being rude to Riggs, I'm like, excuse you. You can leave.
Take a seat, bud.
Can I just say one last thing?
Yeah.
So one of my friend's moms, she was intense mother. Like if someone wronged her, the mom was at your doorstep. Like, why didn't you invite my daughter?
Oh, scary.
Like that scary mom. She will go and just destroy your life. I've never related to her more. Where I'm not going to do those things, but I know those feelings.
I can imagine that bubbly rage where you're like, the nerve of this kid. I'm going to go give his mom a piece of my mind.
But then you have to tell your kid, oh, they're learning and maybe they have stuff going on. But this mom, she acted on all of these feelings. I will come up to you as a 7th grader and be like, you're a little bit.
Yeah.
You should have invited my daughter. I'm not giving you a ride home then.
I feel like, especially having daughters, it's hard because girls can be vicious. And if your daughter is taking a beating, to take a step back and not get involved would be so hard.
I know, but even with my kids, Riggs last year was bullied by a kid who, oh my gosh, it was so bad. I wanted to rip that little kid's head off. And then having to be like, Riggsy, he's learning. And obviously I changed his class and freaking call the teacher once a week now. It's a year and a half later, but I'm like, how is he doing? But it's just crazy the rage you can feel for another kid. But then as a mom, I do want to speak highly of kids and say to them too, hey, if someone's rude to you, you can say, I don't want to be around you. That's my boundary. If you're going to act that way, then you can't be around me. Period. I want them to have that confidence in them. Don't talk to me.
Yeah.
And even if we're at a jump place or whatever, and if Riggs is like, that kid was being mean to me, I'm like, say, my mom said you can't talk to me. My mom said you can't be around me. I just want them to be able to hold those lines and boundaries.
Yeah, and now that Riggs knows what boundaries are.
Frick, help me, guys. What should I say boundaries are? I asked Rachel about it, and she's like, pull out a map and show him the world what a boundary is, which I'm like, that's a good idea. Have it physical.
This is a protection.
Yeah, these are boundaries, you know. But it's just when they ask me those questions when I'm like, you have to do, and they're like, what's that? I'm like, I don't know. It just is that thing. So no.
Then you explain it with another word. And then they're like, well, what does that mean? And you're like, how do I explain it with words that you understand? Yeah.
It's so hard. Oh, how are you feeling?
Good.
I love that you just let me talk about my kids and love my kids. I really appreciate you.
Of course. I love your kids and I love motherhood.
I know.
Even though I'm not a mom and I don't have a mom, I love it. It really is so special. And that's the thing I need to focus on as this Mother's Day comes. I hope everyone can do that no matter what. Trust coming from me who has no part in motherhood. You can find some type of joy in those hard days, but also save space. Like we said, I'll try and find something fun to do, but then also I really want to try and honor the mother figures that I do have in my life, because that mom energy, can I just tell you, if anyone ever gives me some form of mother's love, oh, it is just the best, coziest feeling. And so any ladies or women or neighbors or friends who give me that, I'm like, blessed. You have no idea how much I need that mother energy.
Do you feel that way with a friend? If I ever like mother you, do you feel it similar or no?
Oh, I tell you this all the time. I feel like our relationship is so similar to me and my mom's, and I love it. When it's like, you know me so well that you know to show up with a Diet Coke at my house, or you're trying, and even if I'm just being a little biatch, you can just still show up for me.
Yeah. That's so hard because it's weird where I'm like, I want to be your mom, you know, but it's like, I know I'm not your mom, but you know what I mean? Where it's like, I love you so deeply, but I know I can't give that to you, but I can give you a piece of that type of love.
And I think that's how my sister and my stepmom and stuff feel. I know I can't replace her, but I can care about you like she would have. I can do something that I think she would have wanted, or those type of things.
Yeah. And maybe all those little figures in your life, you can band-aid them together to make it a Mod Podge semi-whole filler. You know?
Yeah. So just appreciating those things, but just freaking do the most for your mom this Mother's Day.
I know. I
want the crap out of her. And even if it's not Mother's Day, because you deserve a freaking day, you're raising 3 boys, you need to have your Mother's Day. But also, I strongly want everybody to think, if this was your last Mother's Day with your mom, how would you spend it? Because it could be.
It could be.
No, you never freaking know.
I know.
And if I would have known my last Mother's Day was my last Mother's Day, I would have pulled out all the freaking stops. You know?
Which you did already, but
I know.
You would go even harder.
I'm sure she would say that or whatever. But I think that's just a principle in life. Live every day like it's your last or whatever. Truly soak in this Mother's Day and even just the fact that you have kids and the fact that you are a mom. So much to be thankful for.
Yeah, like this chapter of my life is so fleeting and special, and I need to remember that.
Yeah.
So maybe if they want to bring me freaking toast at 7:30 a.m., that's okay, babies.
Because
come on.
Honestly, what's better is they bring you toast at 7:30 a.m. You get that moment, and then it's like, okay, now Brandon takes them to go play baseball, and you take a nap.
That's the thing. That is what will happen. They'll come in and give me presents and do all the thing, which even on my birthday, that's how it is. I tell Brandon I want to sleep in, but they always want to see me in the morning.
Yeah.
And I always love it. But my thing is it's hard for me to take naps or go back to sleep. So I'm like, oh, that sucks. But also, who cares? Sleep when you're dead.
Yeah. Then maybe you guys just have another, like, hey, as my Mother's Day gift, next Saturday, I'm going to sleep in.
I know. And I will say, Brandon, on the weekends, every Saturday and Sunday, he lets me sleep in.
Oh, serious? That's amazing.
Yeah. He has the kids and he'll be like, yeah, you sleep in for a little bit. It's so nice.
That is so nice. Wow. Lucky.
I'll let you sleep in, boo. Just kidding. You're like, oh, I'm going to rise and grind and go to the gym at 5 a.m.
So, but I'm definitely going to be like, yo, all I want is a freaking nap this weekend.
A nap.
Saturday at 2 p.m., I'm turning on a Dateline episode. You're going to take the kids somewhere and I'm going to sleep.
There's nothing better than just crushing a nap.
I love it. A very productive Saturday morning followed by a Dateline nap and then just a fun, relaxing night.
I just cannot nap. That's my problem. I'm like, I need to get back to naps.
See, and I can't sleep in.
I know us on like trips and I'm just like, and you're just like tap, 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 tap on your phone. And I'm just like, good morning. You're like, I've been up for hours.
I just got back from lunch. I went to the pool for a couple hours and it's 12:30.
I could really sleep until noon. I really could.
I miss traveling with you. Can we go on a trip?
Please.
That'd be so fun. I love this. And I hope everyone's feeling the Mother's Day vibes and are just happy to be moms. And I hope you guys all get a fat nap in this weekend and have the best weekend ever.
Yes.
Because you deserve it.
Okay, love ya.
Okay, love ya.
Bye.